I've done an area ranking for every single Mario and Luigi game, which means we now have the opportunity to do an area ranking for specific areas, like a desert area ranking, or a snowy area ranking. But for this video, it's going to be the final area ranking. Let's just keep it very simple, because this video is going to be including some of the best areas in each Mario and Luigi game. I mean, all the final areas are at the very least good. They're in my top 5 most of the time. So because of this, it definitely made this list hard, but I do have the list for you guys. There are going to be 5 entries, which means it's going to be a shorter video, so let's just get started right away. But actually, before we get started, make sure to leave a like on this video. Let's try to hit maybe, I don't know, 75 likes. Also, we hit 2,000 subscribers. I really do appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. So let's go for 3,000 by the end of the year. This still might be hard, but we'll try it. So if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe. I really appreciate that. But other than that, let's actually get started on this video. Neo Bowser Castle from Mario & Luigi Paper Jam. This place is not bad. I really don't think it's bad. It's definitely a good final area. It just has a little teeny-weeny problem that does definitely put it lower than every single final area. But let's talk about the good things first. I mean, there's some good enemies here. They're definitely tough to deal with. Like the punching guys, I don't remember their names. I don't really remember any of the names in the Mario franchise, so just don't judge me on that. I also think that it tests your abilities really well. The Trio Grab, Trio Plane, Trio Drill, they do really good things with it. I also like the bosses here. I like the Koopalings, the Kamek fight. Obviously, the final boss is really good. And I really like the Nabbit chase here. I thought it was really creative that Nabbit fought with you, even though you're trying to chase him constantly throughout the game. I thought that was really creative. But everything else about the place is just fine. This place is very forgettable to me, which is absolutely why it's number 5. But the main reason it's forgettable is because there already was a Neo Bowser Castle in Dream Team, and when I'm going through this place, I am constantly thinking of the Dream Team one instead of this one, which makes this place very forgettable because I'm not remembering anything from this one. The Dream Team one is very memorable, just like every other final area except for this one. Every single final area is very memorable to me, except for this Neo Bowser Castle. And the main reason for it, like I said, is because Dream Team's one is much better. Spoiler alert for this list. That's the main thing about it. Maybe if they just named it something different, or made this place a little bit less generic in its look, or maybe its theme, which its theme is not bad, it's just, again, a bit generic. At the end of the day, this is not a bad final area, but it's just so basic and generic that it has to be at the bottom of this list. Bowser's Castle from Superstar Saga. So I like this place, a decent amount, but I will say it was very close to being number 5, so I'm definitely just gonna have to defend myself a little bit just saying why it's number 4 instead of number 5. And I think the main reason for it is the Koopaling fights. They aren't stellar or anything, but they do add to Bowser's Castle quite a bit. I mean, each of the fights aren't very memorable. I mean, the puzzles leading up to them are good. I know Iggy makes you dizzy, so it definitely adds some uniqueness there. But I mean, the fights themselves are fine enough. Again, they do add to the place. And also, there's a lot of enemy encounters in this place, which isn't necessarily bad just on its own. But there really isn't much in the overworld because of it, because you're always going to be in a battle, which is definitely a bit disappointing. This place, though, really does shine, of course, in the music, which I think is really good. It fits. It's probably one of my favorite themes in Superstar Saga. And obviously, the Koopaling fights are decent enough where they actually hold the place up enough for me. At the end of the day, this place is not bad. It definitely is more memorable than Neo Bowser Castle for Paper Jam, which definitely is a main reason why it's number 4, but it's not stellar or anything. Again, this place just really focuses on fights instead of the overworld, which is why it's only number 4. Shroob Castle from Partners in Time. The top 3 locations are phenomenal. I mean, there's so much to do here. The end game of each of these games are great. What did you really expect? But Partners in Time is the worst area out of these three, which isn't really saying that much. I honestly just think Shroob Castle is the worst version of Peach's Castle from Bowser's Inside Story, which again is not really saying that much. Shroob Castle is phenomenal. It literally shows what happened exactly to Peach's Castle in the past. It's scary how identical it is to Peach's Castle in the future, and I really love that thing about it. The enemies are really tough to deal with, which I really enjoy because it's the final area. It should have difficult enemies. You have some really good mini games like killing the Shroob ships. I think that's really enjoyable. Killing the Chain Chomp, going to the sewers on accident. I mean, there's just some great things about Shroob Castle. I really like the music. It's very menacing. It's just... everything about this place is great. I love it. The only thing is that it does feel a tiny bit too long, which I don't really think about the other two places with, because obviously I think that the top two are still very long locations, but I don't really think of that about the top two. This one is the only one I genuinely think about that is too long, which is definitely a problem. It's really the only thing separating the top two from this one. It's not a bad location at all. I really do love it, but it's something I have to separate it, which is why it's only at number 3. Neo Bowser Castle from Dream Team. This is the better Neo Bowser Castle, I'm pretty sure you guys will agree on me with that, but this might be a bit high for some people. But I really like this place. In my opinion, this is the quintessential final area in the Mario and Luigi game. Not the best one, but this is the best example of one. I mean, it tests all your abilities really well. Everything is used here. Ball hop, spin drill, side drill, all used really well. I really like the enemies here. They're very difficult to deal with and they're very fun. I really like how it looks. I think it fits very well for a Neo Bowser Castle. I also really like the music. I think it fits really well, and it sounds very scary and threatening. It just sounds really good in general. I also really like the obstacles. My favorite part about this place. The obstacles are really fun to get around. The first obstacle you have to deal with is Kamek makes all the doors magical, and you just go into a different entrance, which is so creative, and I really do enjoy it. And you have to hit Kamek blocks to get rid of the magic on each door. Again, very creative. And then on the next part of the area, you actually have to get rid of fire from the dream world. Again, very creative, and I do enjoy it. And then the last, well, the last room in the final area, the second to last room in the final area, is a huge spiral. And you have to just go up in it trying to dodge bombs, which is very fun in my opinion. And obviously the music is different, which makes it unsettling. Everything about this place is so good. You also have the Kamek fights here, the final boss, obviously the final boss is here. But everything about this place is phenomenal to me. This is the best example for a final area, and that's why it deserves to be number 2. But of course, it's not the best final area. You guys know exactly what it was going to be. Peach's Castle from Bowser's Inside Story. This place will never be beat. It's phenomenal. I never would have expected an area to be this dang good, but it's the final area, it's the end game, so it makes sense, but I love everything about it. I mean, I love the music. It fits so dang well, but it's so sad and somber. I really love the atmosphere. This was once Peach's Castle, but it's now been turned into Fawful's. It's just so creepy to look at, because you've seen Peach's Castle at the beginning of the game, so it's just very weird to see. I also really like the enemies. I think they're difficult to fight, but again, they're very fun. All the bosses are really fun to fight. You learn the spike ball here, which makes it very fun to move around. It's very creative. It's just more fun to use in this place, and you learn it here. This place is phenomenal. It's basically just a combination of Shroob Castle and Neo Bowser Castle. If you combine those, you get Peach's Castle and Bowser's Inside Story, and it's why I love the place. You take the sadness and just the look-alikeness of Shroob Castle for Partners in Time and the good design and the obstacles of Neo Bowser Castle and just put it into Peach's Castle. This place is so long, but I never think about it because this place is fun the whole way through. It's just a phenomenal area, and it's why it's number 1 by a long shot. thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like on this video. Again, let's try to hit 75 likes. Also, check out my podcast in the description below, The Flatmates, and make sure to subscribe if you last this long. I really appreciate that, but other than that, G-bye.